Hi everyone, it's Dr. T again, and I'm continuing on my series of interviews with the pivotal people in my life and in my on my team and in our program, our different clients and our different coaches who make all this magic happen. And today I wanted to introduce all of you to the phenomenal Coach Brittany Relyea, who I like to say she is real, yeah, like on levels that just rock people's world and on levels that I don't think she even really gets yet. But she's a phenomenal, phenomenal coach. She's an amazing part of this team. And she has been responsible for the kind of human transformation that only the top people in the world can do. That's really the truth about who she is. And so I'm excited to get to introduce her to all of you as my phone's ringing here. Let me turn that off. And so Britt, I'm going to come back to telling a little bit more about you, but why don't you tell us just a little bit about you and what you do here?
Awesome. Well, first of all, thank you so much. That was such a sweet introduction.
It's
I
true.
really appreciate it. I'm so honored to be here. I've been part of the team for about, 2.5 years now and been trained under wonderful Dr. T. And it's just been really life changing in the way that my mindset has shifted as I've, really stepped into this role and really um, found my voice, and that has always been to serve people and to help,
Yeah.
especially with things that maybe I have struggled with in my life. Right, everything, I'm sure you've heard, everything is connected, so we can all really relate to the things that someone is going through, even if it doesn't our situation doesn't specifically look the same. So
Yeah.
I have come on the team and I've, worked with some amazing people and just seen them, up level their lives in so many different ways. And, more than they have even thought possible for themselves, which
Yeah.
is just phenomenal to watch. There's been some instances where we, as we go through a transformation process, it's hard, right? We don't want to take that next step. To be able to bring people through that kind of threshold has just been sometimes you don't realize your own power and strength, and to be able to help people find that. But I really look at it as, this whole coaching journey it really is a journey. It's
Yeah.
me, being able to walk next to someone and be like, I'm here for you and I'm going to do this with you. But at the same time, being able to look within and be like, all right, where can I look within myself that I can up level myself so I
Right.
can help up level you? So it's just
True.
this constant evolution of growing. And I think that that's just, it's phenomenal to be part of the team, be able to call myself a coach and to be able to kind of teach this methodology to people.
I love it, Britt. So, yeah, I want to just continue to tell you a little bit more about Coach Brittany because if you come into the Live Your Potential program, she's one of our amazing mindset coaches. And one of her important roles is making sure that our clients get not only go through the program, gangbusters, go through it and really apply themselves to every single piece of it because every piece is there to do a very particular part of the process. So nothing's left undone, right? So you can go on your merry
Mhm.
way. And Britt's job is to make sure that that our clients maximize this experience because in the Live Your Potential Academy, we want to up level what Live Your Potential means more and more every day for somebody. So um, and yet at the same time, Coach Britt, who's been a coach for me for a long time now, um, I want everybody to really know that if you get to work with Coach Brittany, that right off the bat, right after I first had Brittany trained in this methodology, that she was so willing to do, even though she had no idea what the hell she was really getting herself into, that I put had Brittany take on some of the most complex client cases and issues and people who other people would have just literally gone, just could never have handled it. And Brittany has been responsible and she's been somebody who's like done everything that she needed to do to grow herself every step of the way because just for all you to know that if you get to work with Coach Britt, she is somebody that is dedicated to your results. Like she wants to see them for you and for her, believe me, right? And so it's been phenomenal. The clients that have never ever thought they could be anywhere where they were. And I want to just first just honor Brittany and that and what she's done and how she just said yes to everything, right? That I said, here's what you're doing.
Bring it on.
Yeah, bring it on. So, but let's digress a bit, Britt, and let's share with us about what really made you want to be a coach and then what made you, when you were introduced to this opportunity, what made you feel like this was the path that you wanted to go down?
Yeah, absolutely. I think from such a young age, I've always kind of, been someone who's not, I don't know if the word struggle is, but my emotions, I couldn't really figure out, why I felt different than other people. I was just very much in my head. I was a very sensitive person. Things would really get to me, and it didn't seem like they would get to other people. So I always had these questions growing up. I always, why am I so shy? Why, who decided I was shy? Like I would question things. Like I'd have this identity, be like, how did I get this? So I think that because I was so sensitive, I was just so in tune when I was in discomfort, and I was not able to be okay with that. Some people can feel comfort and discomfort. I could not. I would question, I would read books, I'd ask people, I'd talk about it. I just needed to know. I wanted to understand what was going on with me. So I think curiosity brought me here for the most part. And I think that I just, throughout life, I had always been someone who was very open. I could talk to, adults about their feelings. I could talk to, friends about their feelings. I was always able to have kind of those adult conversations from such a young age. And I always found myself being the one that people would call up and be like, this is what's going on with me. And they would, say stuff like, oh my gosh, you're right. Thank you. I was just able to be a mirror for people.
Natural.
So I went down my path, right? I did my path of the things that I thought I should do: go to college, get the job, get the career, get in corporate. I didn't like corporate. Let's try to do something, more entrepreneurial and work with a company that's a little bit smaller. And I just felt this discomfort, and I couldn't do it anymore. So I really sat with myself, and I asked myself, like, what lights me up? What feels natural to me? What are the things that I do that even if I wasn't getting paid for, I would do those? And coaching kept coming up for me. And I, started looking at different programs. And then the wonderful coach, Kristen Rice, who is a dear friend of mine and has been for a while, was like, well, interesting you should say that. I'm working with this amazing woman, and she is actually, wanting to bring coaches on and train them. And that for me was so intuitive. I put it out there, like, I'm ready for a change. And I was willing to admit to myself, even if it was scary, because it didn't look like anything I went to school for or what I had built for myself so far, that it was like the universe was kind of just like, all right, here you go, girl. This is your opportunity. So it was very intuitive, very natural for me to kind of come into this process. Yeah. Once I was able to kind of touch into what it was I feel like I should be doing, how I should be serving. And here I am.
Oh my gosh, Britt, that is so, I love the story of how it all came together. And Britt, what would you say, when you first were learning about what this methodology was, what would you say was the thing that really resonated with you the most, that had you say like, oh yeah, okay, I'm going down the right track. This feels right to me.
Mm-hmm. There was a lot of aha moments. There was a lot of things that I, throughout, going to therapy over sometimes certain times in my life, or reading books, or just talking to people, it was all great, but there was like something deeper that I was like, where is that? And I think for me, knowing that everything is connected, and that just makes so much sense to me. Like how we show up in different situations, like how I show up in a relationship is probably the same way I'm showing up for myself, right? So just being able to see that connection. And also I think the biggest thing for me is to go down and to see how much the people in our lives have played such a part in who we've become. We love people, we love our family and our friends so much, our teachers, our coaches, all of that. But I didn't realize that I was picking up on their beliefs and making them my own, right? I didn't realize how the people in my life, how they reacted to things and how they spoke and their beliefs, how I brought those in as my own. And that's why I was feeling so disconnected. And no one had taught me that. I didn't know that. I didn't know that, oh, I don't have to carry this anymore. This was my stuff in the beginning. I get to actually choose. And I choose to not, label myself as a stress case or a shy person, or that's, I could see how other people in my life have that. And it's helped me in so many ways. It's helped me in my relationship with myself, my body, finances, career, everything. It's just so interesting once you start peeling back these layers of things that aren't necessarily yours to find who you truly are. Right. That for me was just like, oh my gosh, the world needs this. Everyone needs this.
I love it, Britt. I love it. And I want to just follow up on both things that you just really connected to, which I want everybody to also get this too, this really important piece of, it's one of my favorite parts about Brittany, of many, many things, which is, she had that sense of what she was wanting to do. This opportunity presented itself. She looked at it. She trusted her intuition, and part of being really intuitive people. Most of our clients, our coaches, are all intuitive. That means we're very sensitive, which is why we need this methodology. Mm-hmm. But what Britt really did was, she saw the resonance of everything, and she still was going to go through all of the different training without really knowing exactly what it was going to be. But I want everybody to hear that because something really resonated with her, she put something out that she felt she needed, right? She was open. And like many of you don't don't realize, maybe you're putting out a homing device all the time saying, somebody please help me out of this. And Britt was saying, I want to help people with this.
Yeah. And you have to trust yourself and
this resonance.
Step out of your comfort zone a little bit.
That's what I wanted to touch on,
Britt, a lot.
Is that when something resonates, and we've been taught really not to trust ourselves, because as Brittany was mentioning, we grow up and we have whatever whatever emotional foundation our parents had, and we're sort of missing that deep emotional strength that our program delivers to people, instills in them. But when you don't have that, you can have the resonance for things, but you don't trust yourself, right? So some of you may have resonance and want to be in this program or check it out in some way, but feel like you don't trust yourself. But what Coach Brittany really did was she followed that resonance. She said, this feels like the direction I'm going. And I love her amazing courage to say, I'm stepping all the way in. I know this I was asking, I received, I'm stepping all the way in, and I'm committing. And it's an important thing for the clients that we work with, that they're committed to that life that they want, right? So the going through the program is how you get there, but that the commitment, and then when things show up, that then you take the steps that are going to get you there. But that commitment and that vision. And Britt was somebody that knew she wanted to be a coach, an amazing coach, transforms people's lives on such an incredible level. I do know you did not know what you were in for on how transformational this process could be. But I really also want to acknowledge Coach Britt, and hope you all get to meet her, because she is an absolute natural. She is an absolute transformative, very powerful human being. And what's so amazing about the different people on our team, and as individuals who all live and train and lead this methodology, is that Brittany comes to serve you from this beautiful, beyond wise place, right? She's talking about always asking these questions, but she is this incredibly energetic, beautiful, youthful person who can connect with people on every level, people of all ages and stages. And she's an important leader of her generation, because I know our goal, her goal, our whole set of coaches are really inspired to help people who they don't want to ever have to start down the path of distress and struggle. So she's really committed to helping people start even earlier in their life, know exactly what's right for them, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So want to really acknowledge that about you, Britt. And to just continue on a little bit here, Britt, what do you think What do you think in terms of the people that you've been responsible in transforming their lives? What do you think it is about what we do um, that makes that possible, no matter what somebody's situation is? No matter, think about the people that are watching this interview. They may have been diagnosed with all kinds of things. They're thinking they've got 27 different problems, so they're just tired and overwhelmed. They've been thinking bad things about themselves. What do you think it is about what we do, about what you do in this, that makes the difference where other things don't work for people?
Yeah, it's a great question. I think, life can be hard sometimes, and we're human. And all of this stuff can be so overwhelming. And it's so easy to be like, oh, this isn't going to work for me. Or, oh, I've been down this road before. And I think the difference between us is that we will sit in that pain with you. It's not fun, but we're going to sit there, and we don't let you cheat yourself out of it.
Mm,
Right? We hold that space for you. And there are times where we need to melt down. And there are times where we need to throw a fit. That is fine. That's human emotion. You're going through it. That's natural. But what we do that I think that is so spectacular is as uncomfortable as it can be. And trust us, it's not fun sometimes. People suffer and
mhm.
sabotage things for themselves. And the thing is, I cannot put my head down at night letting someone off the hook. Like, I
Yeah.
can't do that with myself, because I wouldn't want someone to do that with me. Even if I was like at the end of my rope and I just could not stand back up. No, like, that's what we do. We will be here for you. We're your, boot camp leaders, we're your cheerleaders, we're that best friend who is not going to leave your side no matter what. And I think that is the biggest thing, is we don't let you cheat yourself and kind of play into the story that you're telling. We are here to rewrite that story and help you rewrite it for yourself.
Yeah.
And there has to there has to be a time where we just say no more and keep moving forward, as painful as it can be, or as exhausting as it can be. Trust us, we've all of us coaches, I think, have gone through our own experience, right? We've all been to that point where we're just like, oh my gosh, am I doing this again? Or how much longer do I have to
Right.
go? But it's like, when you're asking yourself that question, it's like you're almost on the other edge of that
That's a good one.
threshold, that hump. It's, and we're not gonna let you sit down. We're gonna keep going. And
That's
I think that's
really
what's so
cool.
powerful.
Right, it's really cool. And again, this is something that Coach Brittany, everyone is a real natural at. Again, she's really speaking to the truth of the matter that when you are deeply committed to another human being's transformation, it's going to be a full human experience, right? But we know we're going to get there. We know that not every moment is easy because we are in, right, as Brittany's saying, we're in there with you, and we're going to deal with what we really need to deal with to fix this for you. We're not going to let you get away with stuff that other people would just let happen, and then you're still stuck in that same kind of pattern. And yet, when we just have that confidence and knowing, and sometimes we have a little chuckle, right? This is that moment, right? This is that moment that somebody's having, and we know we're just going to get there. And the truth is that some of the big part of what Brittany's saying, why it's important, is because we know you're going to get there, and we know there's nothing that will keep us from making that happen with you. Uh, oh, whoops, what's that? Oh, well, something's going on. Somebody's ringing on our doorbell here. Um, Hi, we're home. It brings about a level of confidence in our clients. It allows them to safely be in whatever moment of the experience they need to be to transform. It's really, really important and powerful. So, Britt, I think it's important for everybody to get a sense also of, for you, having lived this methodology, having integrated it, having combined it with who you are. So as I've said to you before, this is my team, and this is what we do. And when you have a methodology, but then you have a different individuals leading it, then it's their own special version of that. and everybody gets this beautiful, unique experience with each of us in the process. So, Britt, with this methodology and how it's been in your life and how it is to deliver it to clients, what do you think have been some of the biggest breakthroughs or gains or benefits for you as a person in first, let's say, in living it and then in giving it to other people?
Yeah, I missed some of that. I'm having a little bit of internet issues,
Oh,
but
okay, okay.
um, for me, it has just been so pivotal to take actually what I'm learning and apply it to my life. I think that's the hardest part, right? We can absorb so much and we're like, oh, I got this, but it's the actual taking the action in living it.
Mm,
And it's, you know, I'm human. So there's these moments where like you're gonna kind of drift off and then to come back into learning to show up in those situations that are uncomfortable and things aren't going well, right? When those moments when shit hits the fan and it's just like, okay, am I going to react to this like I would have? Or can I just sit with myself and respond to it from a really, adult self, that
yeah.
adult version of myself, right? So just little stuff like that. And to notice when things, maybe I go to an old behavior, but it's looking at it and like, oh, okay. And I bring it back and I do it in a way that's loving and not judging myself. I think that's been the biggest practice for me is
Mm,
just to accept where I am right now and know that, I am where I'm supposed to be right now. And when things kind of come up to look at them as like, okay, all right, this is an old pattern of mine. It's coming back up right now. Where do we stop it? And to do it from a not this judgmental place. It's been something that's been huge. And life starts to flow. Life starts to feel so much better when these things happen and you can just laugh at yourself and you can move on and you don't have to feel like you want to just like lay in bed for 2 days and eat ice cream. It's like, okay, for whatever reason this happened and it happened for a reason and it's leading to me where I'm supposed to go versus, oh my gosh, the world hates me. That dramatic,
yeah.
self-talk we can get into. So I would say hands down, implementing this methodology, my self-talk has completely shifted. Therefore,
Mm,
the way I view life and show up in life is completely different.
I love that, Britt. Yeah, the responsive versus reactive
Mm-hmm.
repatterning. Coach Britt brings up a really important thing, everyone, about, really when you're living this methodology, when you're implementing it for other people, it continues to grow and grow in the greatest way, right? The same way that the things that didn't work for us, the vulnerability, the emotional patterns that didn't work, and the vulnerabilities that created, they kept growing and growing and growing and getting more automated. And Coach Brittany's really speaking to the way that when you do this methodology, and for everybody, when you go through now or live your potential program, that you get essentially reprogrammed, re-automated within yourself so that other things that other people around us are doing and conditioned to do, there's this, in what Coach Britt is really saying, there's this feeling of just self-leadership where you are aware, you're with yourself, you can be intentional, touch the problem, understand, and then make an intention and put your energy into that to move forward in whatever direction you want to go. And that's a very different thing instead of living in the problem as the emotional home. It's
Mm-hmm.
awareness of it. And then you live in the home, your emotional home of, I'm a powerful creator. And what do I want to create out of this moment? It's really an important piece of wisdom. So I love that, Britt. That's amazing. So, Britt, if you were thinking of folks that are in our group here, and they're here, right, because they came into this Facebook group for the kind of support and guidance and leadership to change their lives, and I know people in this group have, just having read all of your when you join the group, you answer questions, and there's all these issues and things, and thinking, Coach Britt, about different people's all their diagnoses and the way they might see all of these different problems that are going on and just feel overwhelmed and want to stay kind of stuck in the way we all can as human beings, like just protect ourselves, in like, okay, I'll just hold on to this thing that at least I know how to ride this ride as much as it might
Mm-hmm.
suck. What would you say to them in terms of the power of the Live Your Potential 12-week program and what it can do regardless of what these issues are for people? What would you say to them?
It's a really great question. Something that's been coming up a lot for me, and what I think is so powerful about this program is it really gets to the root, right? And sometimes when we think of the root of a cause, that's the thing that most of us don't even want to look at. So in this program, we are asking you, we're inviting you, you're giving the opportunity to be truthful to yourself with whatever is going on, because we go through life and we lie to ourselves for a lot of reasons because it's protective. We don't want to go there because all the what ifs when we admit to ourselves our truth of maybe something that's not serving us anymore and is manifested into health problems and all this other stuff. When we actually go there and we speak our truth, it's just the amount of pressure and heaviness leave us. And something that's been coming up with a lot of the people I've been working with in the group this week is it's okay to speak your truth. It does not mean that you have to take action right now, right? It's just admitting it. So it doesn't mean that you need to
Blow up your life.
leave the relationship right now or quit the job. It's literally just like, okay, let's just admit to ourselves what's not working here. And then maybe admit we're scared. We're scared and we don't know what the next step is. That feels so much better than holding on to this and beating around the bush and just looking at all these other instances of things that we feel like we can fix. It's like, this is this program, we get to the root. And then all that other stuff just kind of floats away eventually. So, I mean, I think that is the biggest thing, biggest shift is you are coming into this program to be truthful to yourself and let yourself free. Wow. So that you can live the life that you want to live.
That's powerful, Britt. It's really powerful. I love, everyone. I get to continue to know the people that I get to share my life in this process with, and the people that I stand shoulder to shoulder with, training people to be their most emotionally powerful self, to have that foundation. And Coach Britt, you are right on the money that whatever it is that you're coming in with, that we're gonna get into that foundation, right, of what's causing it and what needs to be in that foundation instead. And Brittany's really reminding me of something very important in anything, for any of you choosing a process of any kind or a provider, is because that is the only way anything is ever going to change, right? Is if you are in that depth of that, and yet choosing people to do that with, it's got to be people who know how to be there with you, how to help you be really safe in that, how to be so powerful. And we call that in our company, we call that our container, right? That we're there to contain you. So whatever, right? Because we're saying we don't want to uncover what's in there, or maybe I think I was talking to Coach Kristen recently. She's saying it might be ugly. It might be
painful.
Might be ugly what you find. And that's a really important part about it, is that being with people that you can be safe enough, who are powerful enough, healthy enough. We know exactly, we live this methodology so much that there's nothing we can't handle. So everyone knowing that whatever you think is under there, whatever you think we're going to find, whatever you think you're going to find, because that's Britt, you just hit on a very powerful point that keeps people, all of us, if we don't have the tools to know what to do with something, we are certainly not going to unpack it. That's a very intelligent strategy, right? When we don't know, we have to avoid, and we have to just keep something contained in the way we know how. But when you're able to have a group of people and all of us equal in our ability to do this for any one of our clients, that you can look at that root, we can change it and transform, and we don't have to change everything about your life, because all we have to change is the foundation for you that you're operating on. And then the rest you'll naturally know how to do in life. So hopefully that's all what I want for any of you to keep that in mind, that if you are working with somebody or you consider working with them and they don't feel safe and powerful and like they can handle anything, and most of all that they can handle you so that you can go where you need to go, then that's a really important component of your decision making process and doing anything to help yourself. Sounds
Absolutely.
awesome, Britt. Wow, I'm just really connected to that right now. So Britt, let's just maybe we'll wrap up here with um, again that sense of thinking about anybody in this group who wants that help, who's resonating with what we're sharing today, and who may feel like, they've just got so many things wrong, and they it's been so long, and they're not, they're not fixable, they're not worth it. They're not used to thinking that this is really possible for them, and they're hesitant or intimidated to step forward and check out what might be possible in this program. What would you say to them about what would you have them do?
Yeah. Well, I would say, first of all, you're here right now. So there's a part of you that is believes that there's something out there that's better for you. There is a way that you could be living your life that doesn't involve suffering or pain or discomfort, and that everybody deserves that. Everybody. We did not come here to suffer and to play small. Absolutely not. And that we all have our dreams, we all have our purpose, and what a shame it would be if you were not able to share that with the world and the people in your life. And I think that's the most powerful thing, because this is such a ripple effect, and it goes so much deeper than just you. It goes your partners, your family, your friends, your kids. Oh my gosh, kids.
Right.
How powerful is it to be raised by, a family member who is so strong in their foundation of who they are. And, it's as much as it is for you, it's for everyone else in your life. It's just uprising the level of how we show up in the workforce, in the grocery line, ordering your coffee, like all of it that affects everyone. You know how it feels when someone gives you a compliment or just smiles at you or picks something up for you. It's about that. It's about living life in that flow state where you're happy and you just have a smile on your face and you just want to share it with the people around you. And the impact is huge. So I would say that is, one thing that everyone is deserving of this, everyone. And the fact that you're here right now is, that this is your message, right?
Yeah.
Tap into that intuition. And I know it's scary and I know it's overwhelming. It really is. And we're so good at coming up with every excuse, right? Which is like programmed in our head with all the yeah buts.
Yep.
No yeah buts here.
I love it, Britt.
You deserve this, and the people in your life deserve it. They deserve to have you, who you authentically are, in your healthy, loving, state of mind, and seeing you live the life that you are meant to live is just huge. So I would say, be very solid in your intentions and go there and be truthful to yourself and what you deserve.
Do you see why I wanted you all to connect to Coach Brittany? Okay, because she's speaking some very, very powerful words here. And this is why our program is named the Live Your Potential program, because this is our core operating belief that whatever it is that's happening, whatever the disorders, the dysfunction, whatever's come before, that when you connect to that truth, that I think is why anyone in this group would be here, that you are here for a purpose and that you are here to live your maximum potential, and you are here to evolve yourself and evolve everyone around you, right? And when you go from, I need to fix my bipolar disorder, to I need to live my potential as a person, and we make that paradigm shift and we make that the focus, then no one needs to go back to rehab anymore, and nobody needs to be on 9 medications anymore. It's a radical paradigm shift when you Make that your whole focus, that I'm here to live my purpose. And as Britt said, it is not to suffer. It is not to just be in a circus. It is truly to have all of yourself come forth and let that do what it's meant to do for other people. And the other thing that Britt's saying is very important is why we do this. It's part of our mission statement. And it's also because we all are part of this human family where our parents were doing whatever they could with their training. And we not only love to change the lives of our clients, but we are the most happy when they're telling us that their kids are doing better and now their kids don't need to go to therapy. And we have all of your children in mind when we are working on anything for you. And Britt's right that the people in your life deserve to have somebody be at their top emotional capacity, because most families don't have anyone like that in their life whatsoever. And so if you're here, it's probably meant because you're that one, just like
Mm-hmm.
we are in our family, right? And it's not about other people should do it. It's about when you're called to do it, you do it. When you're called to live your potential, then that you got to heed that calling, right? And so I'm just going to wrap with saying that something else that Britt really connected to for all of you is that we are here for you. We're here to help you with that. We know how to get you there. We know how to do it. We became experts before we ever decided to make a bigger deal of this. And we are a beautifully dedicated, heart and purpose driven team. And we're absolutely here to help you. And we look forward to, if any of you feel, that you want to give yourself that opportunity, and get to work with somebody like Brittany, and get to have that amazing leadership and commitment to you, then please do reach out with the link that I'm going to put here with this video, and let's just talk about what might be possible for you, because just giving that opportunity to yourself is a pattern change that just doing it, even if for some reason we're not a fit for each other, then that's a powerful, powerful step toward your potential, to just know that rather than wonder and then live in the pattern of not doing something for yourself.
Yeah.
So
Action.
action. So we're just here because we are as committed to you. If this isn't right for you, that's one of our biggest commitments for you as well. We will know that, you will know that, we'll know that together. And that will then be something that steps you further down the path that you are meant to go on, whichever one it is. So we're really excited to get to talk to you all, and we hope you book a call, and we hope that this has served you. Thank you, Coach Britt.
Thank you so much. This was so fun. Honored to be here.
Very honored to have you. All right, everyone, have a great rest of the day, and we really look forward to having you all live your full potential.